क्वाइट, कंसिस्टेंट, क्लासी, एक ऐसे एरा ऑफ फ्लैशी मिडफील्डर्स, हाइलाइट्स, रील्स. Ivan Rakitic was the heartbeat you didn't hear, but your team definitely felt. After 20 years, nearly 900 matches, 17 trophies, and countless clutch moments, Rakitic has called an extraordinary career to an end. This is the story of football's ultimate unsung hero and Barcelona's legendary midfielder, Sevilla's legendary midfielder, Ivan Rakitic. अब रैकिटिच के बारे में मैं जितनी बात करूं उतनी कम होगी, बट हाँ, फॉर सम पीपल मैं बताना चाहूँगा दैट ही हैज़ रिटायर्ड. बट रिटायरमेंट, अरे मैं अभी यहाँ पे कहाँ से पहुँच गया यार. लेट्स टॉक वेयर इट ऑल बिगेन. इवान रैकिटिच कैसे कहाँ बिगनिंग हुई? वेल, इवान रैकिटिच वॉज बोर्न ऑन March 10, 1988 in Switzerland. His parents were Croatian and they were also footballer. His father was a footballer. So he came from a footballing family and he played for the FC Basel's youth academy at just 7. And by 17 he was already being hailed as a future star. 2007 में वो एक बोल्ड स्टेप लेके शाल के जाते हैं जर्मनी के अंदर. एक टीनेज रैकिटिच वहां पे जाके अपनी पासिंग, लॉन्ग पासिंग, डिसिप्लिन, वो जर्मन डिसिप्लिन और अपने ऊपर प्रेशर लेना जानते हैं, सीखते हैं. मगर क्या वही था रैकिटिच के लिए एक काम? नहीं. That wasn't the big move. We all know the big move where it all began, where we all started hearing about Ivan Rakitic. Was it Barcelona I'm talking about? No. Before Barcelona, Ivan Rakitic was in Spain. He was in Sevilla. In 2011, Rakitic joined Sevilla and he captained Sevilla, pulling the strings from deep and lifting the 2014 Europa League with 42 assists and 32 goals and countless recoveries in those 3 years. You see, 3 saal, he became the captain. He won the Europa League. And that is what earned him the call from the Camp Nou. 14-15 season, Barcelona calls Rakitic for the help to bring them the treble at home. Xavi Hernandez was having his last year. He was that old. He was on the verge to leave Barcelona and move to Qatar. So Barcelona was looking for someone whom they could replace, and well, they find a great Maestro. A Maestro who was not just able to replace Xavi, but he was enough that who can provide, squad depth role for Busquets and even Andres Iniesta. He knew how to control the tempo, how to defend. He was also able to play at the CDM role, giving rest to Busquets in many, many matches. But in 2014, when Rakitic joined Barcelona, well, we all know how much he has helped. Rakitić, his greatness was ultimate. He used to cover for Dani Alves, Jordi Alba, drop into Busquets' space to help him, cut passes through interceptions. And when Messi was not able to defend, he was there so that Messi की जगह कोई जना जो cover up कर सके. That was Ivan Rakitic, and उसकी वजह से वहाँ पे freedom मिलती थी Lionel Messi को. He was also the opener, the Champions League final scorer. Ivan Rakitic scored against Juventus the first goal for Barcelona, and they win the Champions League and they won the treble. José Mourinho even said it, क्योंकि उसकी डिफेंडिंग स्किल्स एंड जितनी जगह वो हर पोजीशन पे पहुंच जाता था, हर बंदे के लिए वो तैयार था कवर अप करने के लिए, बी इट जॉर्डी आल्बा, बी इट डानी आल्वेस, बी इट लियोनेल मेसी. सो José Mourinho said he ran miles, does defensive work, pass with precision, one of the most underrated players in the world. Well, obviously, if a player is covering up for other players, you won't notice him much, no, because it is obvious. You don't see what's going on the defensive work, what's going on tactically, why that player is able to move so freely. Well, it is because Ivan Rakitic was there providing the cover defensively that was needed so that Jordi Alba, आपका Dani Alves, आपका Lionel Messi can be at a free roam role, or even if they are at attacking positions like the fullbacks, Rakitic stayed behind. But still, he joined attacks and scored some bangers. Well, we all know about. It's like the Tottenham goal and everything. He was also the Croatia's quite commander for the 2018 World Cup. Uska partner We know who was it. It was Luka Modric. Ivan Rakitic played 106 matches, 15 goals and 16 assists for Croatia. And Rakitic, along with Modric, was a played a very crucial role to reach into the finals of the 2018 World Cup. He scored two decisive penalties in the shootouts along the way when Croatia needed steal and control. He delivered, always calm, always calculating what's next. As I said, Rakitic is a complete midfielder. Rakitic was ultimately special. He knew when to defend, how to defend, when to control the tempo and when to attack. As I said, he is a central midfielder. He is a central defensive midfielder. He is a central attacking midfielder. And that is shown in his stats with 141 goals, 158 assists. I think you know what I'm talking about. I think you are able to understand that the stats back him, that isn't just his assist, it's his goals also, which are almost same in the number, 141 goals, 158 assists. And for a midfielder who even covers defensively, like for Messi, Alves and Jordi Alba in his prime years, 2015 to 2020, for 5 years, it is a great statistics. We all know that. And even Rakitic ke bangers, well, it's just that I don't even need to show you those goals. You already have one of them in your mind. Rakitic is often, compared by the legendary like Kroos or Modric just because of arguments that Barcelona pull out on the basis of assists. Well, that's a banter. But I think Kroos is a different player. Modric is different. Iniesta has been different. But Rakitic is a mixture of everything. Rakitic wasn't exceptional in everything or in a single thing, but he knew how to do everything that other players can do. You want to dictate tempo, Rakitic is there. You want to have an attacking midfielder who can take long shots, and who can play crucial passes in the final third. Rakitic could play that also. You need a player who can be at the defensive position and provide the defensive solidarity to the team. Well, once again, Rakitic was there, and that is why he was the unsung player, and he still is the unsung player that people still are not enoughly talking about his environment. Well, in 2015, he went to his boyhood club and called back his retirement. But yes, do you think the retirement still gives the justice to the career that Ivan Rakitic had? Like, अभी तक मैंने आपको उसके शायद से titles नहीं बताए हैं. He won Europa Leagues. He went back to Sevilla and once again won the Europa League with them. He won Champions League, 4 La Liga titles with Barcelona, Super Copa, Copa del Rey, Super Cup, Club World Cup, everything. Rakitic has everything, and he is so underrated. Still, after me making this video, guys will comment, oh, this midfielder is better than him. But this isn't about them, guys. The reality is, in today's generation where we see so much technicality, Rakitic had everything. He had that creativity, that composure, which we are not able to find in one player. Certain players are without composure, without creativity, without long shot taking. Imagine फेडरिको वाल्वर्डे जैसी शूटिंग एंड अ क्रिएटिविटी लाइक आप किसी और मिडफील्डर की ले लो. मैं पेड्री नहीं बोल रहा था बिकॉज दैट वुड बी अल्टीमेटली एक्सेप्शनल, बट येस, फेडरिको वाल्वर्डे विद बीइंग अ मिक्सचर ऑफ मॉडरिच, क्रूज एंड इनिएस्टा, shooting like Valverde, like that is a dreamy of a player, and that was Ivan Rakitic. He was also found everywhere. He performed that defensive support. So you can say that he was Valverde with the defensive supports and with his shooting. He obviously didn't have that pace. He lacked that pace. But you look at his creativity, his positioning, his footballing IQ, that was just beyond the mark. आप उसका क्रोएशिया के अंदर स्टिंट देखो. वेल, मॉडरिच ऑल्सो जानते हैं ये बात that Rakitic was equally crucial for Croatia to reach the World Cup finals in 2018. And Rakitic will always, I think, will remain an unsung hero. He will always remain an unsung hero despite me or maybe 2-3 people more talking about. Because you know why? Because he did everything, and he did the dirty work. When you do the dirty work, now you don't get that many highlights. Well, you can still argue that if scoring 141 goals and 158 assists and he still does the dirty work, he should have been talked about. He should have been talking about a lot. But yeah, sometimes there are certain players who just you don't need to talk about. They show it by their presence. They show it by their presence, guys. That was Ivan Rakitic. His passing accuracy for certain seasons were 92%, 90%. From 15 to 20, 2015 to 2020, it was like 89 to 90%. That was his passing accuracy. He provided balance and stabilization to every team that he played, whether it be at Barcelona, Sevilla, Croatia. He was the player who provided calmness, balance and stability that each of his teams needed respectively. And he played different roles in different teams, in different matches. It was like ultimately a different cheese. That was a thing that Ivan Rakitic was. That was a player that Ivan Rakitic was, with controlling the tempo of the game to having bangers from the game. Like, take an example of the Tottenham goal. I don't think that volley, oof. Whenever you will remember the volley, if you know, I'll play it for you. You yourself knows what I'm talking about. That volley from Ivan Rakitic. That is too much. Those assists from Ivan Rakitic, those dirty works of covering up for the fullbacks for Lionel Messi from Ivan Rakitic, his presence in all over the midfield was just too good to be forgotten too easily. And that is the case that is being happening with Ivan Rakitic. Well, for me, he'll always be a Barcelona and a Sevilla legend. We'll miss you, Rakitic. This footballing world will miss you, Rakitic. Even though people didn't praise you enough as you should have been, but you will be dearly missed, Rakitic. Now, I hope you enjoyed this video. So do give a like. And if you want to subscribe, that's up to you. You wanna, share it, that is up to you. But definitely leave a comment down in the comment section with Rakitic and with a red and blue heart. That would mean a lot to me. With this, I'll take my leave. We'll meet you soon in another live stream, in another video. Till then, bye-bye.